Are you looking at purchasing a home in and around Coeur d'Alene and curious what the most recent real estate market trends are? In this video, I will be going over the real estate market trends for March 2025. Welcome back to my channel, Living North Idaho, where I discuss all things about real estate in and around Coeur d'Alene and living your best life in North Idaho. There were 319 homes that closed in our entire MLS for March, compared to 326 of March of last year. The majority of the homes that sold between $400,000 and $500,000, with 77 home sales. But 500,000 to 600,000 was not that far behind, with 70 properties that closed in that price range. 26% of those homes that closed for all cash, making that 83 properties. Now let's take a look at the breakdown for those cash sales. 15 of them sold for under $300,000. 22 of the homes sold between $300,000 and $500,000. 28 of them sold between $500,000 and $750,000. 8 of them closed between $750,000 and $1 million. 7 of those properties closed between $1 million and $2 million. And 5 of those properties sold for over $2 million, all cash. 33 homes sold for over $1 million in March, compared to 30 in February. The price range with the most price changes was $500,000 to $600,000, with 65 price changes in that price range. Now that is a different price range with the price changes from the previous month, but $400,000 to $500,000 was not that far behind, with 53 homes having price changes. And there still are a lot of price changes in price ranges over $1 million. These price changes suggest that sellers are proactively changing their prices to remain competitive with buyers' expectations in some of these competing price ranges. Sales for the month of March were down 2.2% from the same time last year. The median sales price for those sold properties was $525,000. Now, that is a $24,900 decrease from the previous month, but a 6.3% increase from March of 2024, when it was $493,684. The median days on market for those homes that closed in March were 68 days. Of all those properties that closed, 82 of them were new construction, making that 25.7%. For new construction, we still are able to find a few options around Coeur d'Alene area, Post Falls, Rathdrum, under $400,000. And some builders are still offering incentives. There are currently 0 active short sales in our MLS. And so far in 2025, we have seen 2 short sales that have closed and currently have 1 that is pending. There are currently 0 bank-owned or REO properties listed for sale in our MLS. So far in 2025, we have seen 1 REO that has closed and currently have 3 that are pending. So that does kind of show with those distressed properties that there are not a lot of distressed properties out there based upon how many short sales and REOs that we have had on the market and that are closing so far this year. For those closed properties, 31% of them that closed had some sort of seller's concessions that were contributed in the sales price. Now, those seller concessions can be in lieu of repairs, they could be for closing costs, they could be for buy down rates, just some sort of the sales price that was agreed upon between the buyer and seller did have some sort of concessions. So that does still show for buyers, make offers on properties and ask for those concessions. Ask for buy down rates. You never know what can happen. We still are seeing a fair amount of homes coming back on the market also. Some of that has to do with getting inspections done and maybe inspection not going the way a buyer wanted and maybe not able to negotiate some of those repairs. So they basically decide to not continue forward with that property. Now, for those closed properties, let's take a look at how long they were on the market and what percentage of sales price to original list price they ended up closing for. So as you can see from those numbers, for sellers, the better you price your home at fair market value right off the bat, first off, the quicker it's going to sell, and for the more money you're going to be able to get to that original list price. This is not a market where you can overprice your home and expect to get it sold. Sellers that we're seeing sit on the market who overprice their home from the beginning end up having to sit longer. Buyers lose interest and therefore offer less on the property. So always make sure if you're listing your property, first off, you're listing it where it should be with fair market value, and an agent will give you comparables on where you should list it, and list it with an agent that does professional photography. All the buyers start out looking at homes on the internet, and so you're going to want to make sure that the best foot is forward and that your home is showing up looking good on those photos. For a buyer, you don't have to be in such a rush unless a property is listed right where it should be, and an agent can look up and pull up comps and show you where that home should be listed. If it is listed right, you don't want to wait too long, but you still have some time to look over your payments, make sure you're all right with everything. Also, don't be afraid to go in and ask for seller concessions. Ask for some of those buy down rates, some closing costs. You never know if you don't ask. And again, from those numbers, if you're looking for a deal, for buyers, look for homes that have been on the market at least 4 months. The longer, the more willing a seller may be willing to come off of that price. And for a seller, list your home right from the beginning and you can expect to get closer to your original list price. If you have any questions about real estate in and around Coeur d'Alene, please reach out. My name is Amanda Cuthbert. I'm with the Phoenix Agency.